I did the whole kind of march by the means of what your parents think you're going to be successful at, and so I went ahead and got all the stuff and bought it all and had it all and was like, oh my god, I'm busy just maintaining this whole circus show and not having any time to do the things that I think I would love to do. And so I decided that by minimizing my life and shrinking it down to something that's more manageable, I would be able to have more time for the things that I want to experience in my life versus taking care of all of the material possessions. You get to go out to these great, beautiful places where there's all these other like-minded people, and you get to meet them and you hear their stories and you just kind of resonate with this like-mindedness of we're all doing it for basically all the same reasons. And so there's a lot of connectivity in that and community, and I found it hard to find that with a 9-to-5 job, just trying to get to work and get home and take care of everything that you have to do to have a healthy lifestyle. So van life's opening up a lot of opportunities and just giving me more freedom in probably every category of my life. Hi, I'm Jamie. This is my van Casper. It's a 2002 T1N, so it's the first generation of the Sprinters. It's a 140 wheelbase, high top, and it's a double door slider because it has doors on both sides, which is the reason I ended up jumping for this. I just got on the road probably this week. I would say I've been to about 4 van life gatherings, but I'm starting full time right about now, so it's a really exciting moment. And I'm just grateful to be here at Bend with all these amazing people. Being at an event like this, where you've got a lot of circles of vans, you end up having 2 different worlds on one side or the other. It could be you're at an event, everyone's facing one direction, you can look out your door out to a nice pasture or a mountain view and have a peaceful moment, shut your other door, have some privacy time, which is always good if there's a lot of people around. Or at this particular event, Descend on Bend, we've got this circle on the left. That's basically a recreational area where a lot of people are kind of hanging out, and it's a little bit different vibe and energy than on this side. And so at night, we have all these LEDs going and flashing lights, and you get a disco going on this side, and on this side, it's maybe more of a chill zone. So I love having the aspect of 2 different worlds going on at the same time, and I'm in my van wondering what I want to do and kind of feeling out what's happening on either side and just make my decisions as I go. So that's my favorite part, having options. This car was a Homeland Security vehicle, and that's why it had the 2 doors, and it also had the dual awnings already on it, as well as an auxiliary booster heater. And so there were already vents in the back of the vehicle, so I didn't have to do any kind of special venting to be able to run my fans or leave my windows open. And so there's a nice flow that's basically going between me and my vent in the back of the vehicle. As far as the temperature goes in this van, I don't have air conditioning, even though I have a lot of power and I could probably run it, but I do have this nice max fan. And at night, I turn it on so it blows in, so I'm getting fresh air. And I also have this Dyson fan over here, and so I do use this as well, and I'll knock that on and put it on oscillate, and then with 2 fans going, even if it's like 90 degrees in here, it's not bad. My whole design started with having this bed at the right height because I'm a mountain bike rider, so I wanted to keep bikes in the back and not have to worry about them if I'm off hiking. And once I did that, I was able to basically design the rest to flow with this bed, because this is a slat bed, and people with the shorter vans oftentimes use half the space pushed in, and then they just kind of pull them out when they want to go into bed mode. And that allows us to have nighttime if we need it, so we can go ahead and flip one mattress down on top of the other and have a full length bed. And then when I'm in work mode or in daytime mode, I just slide this back in, and then I can access all my counter space and kind of live in here a little bit easier. The other aspect of this design was I wanted it super minimal, so I don't have a lot of gadgetry or latches or locks or handles. I just wanted it to be really clean. So it's pretty much as simple as I could make it and still have all the functionality that I wanted. Since I usually do computer work, to pay for this journey, I needed a really big desk. So this desk actually comes way out here, and I do use this when I'm also preparing food and such, but I can do my computer work in here. I can be on my mobile Wi-Fi router, which is up in one of these cabinets in the overhead compartment. So I can basically be online and selling or working with clients and doing webinars and such. The type of work I usually do is CAD work, so it's like 3D CAD for product development and industrial design. This is one of my favorite features on this van, and one of the reasons is because if you end up with one of these beds that's space saving when it's in, and then when it's out, you still want to be able to get to the things you need on a daily basis. Maybe your partner's sleeping and whatnot, you don't want to have to disturb them. So this thing it just slides up. Right now it's hitting this box that I just put in here, so it goes all the way up. And what it is it's a timbre door. I got this on Craigslist. There's a certain kind of whiteboard that's a meeting whiteboard, and they have 2 of those that go around. I took one off, and then I took some walnut and I joined it, and I basically cut that with a router. You can see one of the biscuits. And so it's a 1/4-inch track, and you just basically are measuring about the width of that to make it work. And it's just really nice. It's kind of elegant, it's smooth, and like I said, nothing falls out because of all of these little metal edges, which is just aluminum that you can get at a hardware store. So, you know, there's little containers for certain things so that they're safer. Like my glasses have containers just so when I'm rocking around, they're not going to break. But that's great. And then I also keep most of my bowls in here as well because, you know, they're pushed up against the wall. So this is a really nice feature. I would have liked to have used more timbre doors, but they are a little bit pricey if you're buying them new. And I was trying to upcycle or buy as many things that were already kind of secondhand that I could. When I bought the vehicle, it only had 6,000 miles on it because it was basically like a parked office for Homeland Security. So that was kind of one of the big reasons why I went for it as well. I feel like this is a perfect size for me, being a solo van lifer. I have plenty of storage up above. This is mostly where I'm keeping food storage. I do have some gear, like I think there's a skateboard helmet, a yoga mat, sometimes a solar shower, and then I also have some items on this side, which is mostly electronics. So I keep some camera gear and a drone and the Wi-Fi router and such up in the top cabinets. And then on the other side, it's really just all clothes. So I have way too many clothes right now. I still want to minimize my life a little bit more, but camera over here, extra blankets over here for the bed. Right here, I had just built this little book rack, and I probably will add more of that to the doors, but I like to have the things that I'm interested in as conversation pieces when people come in. The stove's great. It's a propane stove. I keep my tank right underneath my seat. I also have my water tank under the seat. I do have a safe under the seat. On this side, I have the Truck Fridge 150. It's a 4.2 cubic foot fridge. I love this fridge. Definitely recommend it. It's about $650 when I bought it a year ago. I have a few drawers here, and these cabinets are made to slide, but what I usually do is I get to my camp and I just bend them out, and I just end up sliding them right along the side of this bed, and so they're out of the way, and then I can just access everything as quickly as I need to. They're more of a safety, so when I'm driving, drawers don't open on their own. And so inside the van, basically we'll go through the kitchen here, is a little cooker oven. So I do use that in the mornings if I'm making bagels and such, and I make fries and bake potatoes on that. Okay, so the first drawer is mostly just like kind of kitchen stuff, silverware, maybe some bathroom stuff, and then the next drawer is, it can be all kinds of stored food, mostly dry food, things that are gonna boil, or dried fruit, packaged stuff. The sink's super nice. It's a cross sink, and it's really deep. It's 0 radius. You can stack your dishes if you're making something for a potluck and you just need to get over there. You can actually do like a shower if you want outside with this nozzle. I really enjoy having this water jug here because I can see exactly what's in my water jug. I only fill it with filtered water or purchased water at the store. It's glass and it's 3 gallons, and the restaurant supply stores sell it online. This is a little messy right now because I've been living in the van, but I do have a sliding trolley with trash and recycling behind it. I have an inverter down here that's running some LEDs that go around the door. I just kind of love that stuff. It's kind of always the dream of being a vagabond on the road with all kinds of little sparkly lights and having dance parties, so that usually happens too. Welcome to the cockpit, and also kind of the little lounge area. If people want to come in, we got a couple seats, got a table here. Eventually there will be a pop-up table on this side and also one over here. You know, I love having these swivel seats. These were kind of like homemade versions out of a junkyard, but they do just as good. I have an amp that's down below, and I have a subwoofer, a control knob here. This is the stereo system. It's basically a Bluetooth amp that has this switch to turn it on, and then I just play music through my phone. I like that. I have a battery monitor called an Expert Pro for my lithiums, so I can know if I'm going too low and I need to change my lifestyle patterns if there's not enough sun. I do keep, you know, some things up front that are a little bit more fragile, like hats. I've got some sage that I pulled off out there in the wilderness. I've got a little guitar I'm trying to learn along on the road. I keep my tripod down here, so things that I want to get to that I don't want to necessarily throw in the garage just kind of land up here. These are my curtains that actually go across the van as well on this slide, and they're great if you need some privacy. There's a couple of cameras in here as well. These are Blink by Amazon, and these are motion activated cameras, so if I'm somewhere where there's Wi-Fi, they're kind of tied into this little cradle point. It's a Wi-Fi router, and it's using a Verizon SIM right now, but it's a dual SIM, and it also has GPS, so the vehicle can be found if it does get away. Other than that, there is a composting toilet that's up here that's generally in, and I just have a curtain to kind of hide it right now. It's a great one. It's the Nature's Head. It's on some slides, and so they're locking slides. When it's pushed in, it's totally locked. When it comes out, it's free to go back in. And I use coconut coir right now if I'm using that. This little table came from Pier 1. I love it. It was a tray, and then it's built into a rack that's actually, or a table mount that's from a Westphalia camper. And so it's just mounted to the seat base, and that comes in handy, and it kind of swivels around, so that's nice as well. One of the reasons why the front is the way it is because I didn't know if I wanted to have a shower indoors or not. If I was doing a very professional job, I'd probably want to have one inside. Right now it's in the back. So I kind of left these openings more or less to put a shower in if I decided as an afterthought I need it. The one thing that I would change, I probably would shorten at least one of these cabinets so it's easier to put that in, and that would be the only thing. But I'm happy with it the way it is, and I'm happy with the shower at the back right now with my lifestyle, so for now it's working well. Okay, so back here I have a shower. This was already here on the van because it was the Homeland Security vehicle. So I bought this on Amazon, and I bought this one because it's stainless steel, and so it's very durable, and it's running off the main pump, which is also serving the sink. And this is basically an 8-foot long cord, so I just loop it over this hinge. Eventually I'll put a little holder for showering, but it's either instantaneous or you can lock it in place by pushing that in and it'll just stay on. Whoops. So it's really nice, pretty powerful too. And then in the back where I shower is actually just clothespins in little slots with a shower curtain, and I have enough drapery on the very back of my van kind of protecting my garage equipment to where I just come back here, and there's some cracks in the sides of the doors. I just let people know, hey, I'm taking a shower, you know, stand the other way. If they want to look, they can look. I don't care. Okay, welcome to my garage. I wish it was a little bit bigger, honestly, but it's serving all the purposes I need right now. The bike that's sitting on the ground, and then this e-bike, which is my old bike. So I love taking this boosted board with me. It goes about 22 miles an hour, 14 miles on a charge. You can carry it with you. You can go into a bookstore or grocery store, whatever you want. This tray does slide out, which is actually how I'm able to get my bikes out. I use a little pin that's drilled through the hinges, since I didn't buy locking hinges because they're more expensive. So it'll actually come all the way out. It's a little tight with the little cables on the bike, but if I pull that out, I can access everything I need to that's on the tray. So it's mostly just bike stuff, and I have some tools in case something breaks, a couple pair of shoes that are usually under my seat, but for now they're here because we're just on location. I've got a fire extinguisher that's going to be put in a more convenient location that's a little too hidden away. The power system's pretty big. I always wanted to do a tiny home, and so I kind of built this with the idea that I would eventually be doing a tiny home. And the batteries, they're 3 kilowatt packs, and there's 4, so it's 12 kilowatts at 61.5 volts. Really 57 nominal, and it's hard to find a system that'll support that. A lot of the people that are selling don't even believe it can work, but these specs on my inverter charger as well as my MPPT solar charge controller go up to about 64 volts, I believe, maybe 67 on the charger. So I'm within the spec. I can charge these as long as I'm over the 60 volts on my panels. So I'm at about 88 because I have 4 180 watt grape solar panels in series. The way I designed it was I put AC on that side, so there is an AC box with 4 breakers. The wires were already in the van. I moved them a little, so I have 4 different outlets. I have quite a few power strips that come off the outlets so I can get more things in without having to run a lot of house wires. One on that side, one on this side. One's running this little Bosch 4-gallon water heater that's great. I have a bunch of shutoffs in case I need to work on it. I always recommend doing that because it can be very dangerous. That's just the big power panel in the middle. There is a little Connexed comm box, which I can actually get on my laptop and see what's going in, what the loads are like. If I spiked it all in the day, if I have any kind of faults, I can clear them with my laptop. So that keeps that system pretty healthy. Back here, I did put a hitch on here, and that's really for moving stuff or helping people, or if I ran into a really nice classic car, who knows. I used to do that as a hobby. I could end up dragging one somewhere. I don't know where anymore since I'm, what is it, houseless, not homeless or something? Or some saying like that. So guys, I really appreciate you taking some time and listening to my story. If you want to find me, I'm on Instagram quite often at Lanterns and Lettuce, just all one word. And then I do have an alternative that's Peace, Love, N, letter N, Van Life. And that's more of about my build and what went into it, some decisions I made. In case you have technical questions, I'm happy to answer them there. I still do have the software I use to design consumer products. If you think you have something that's good for the planet, I would love to talk to you. You can reach me through Instagram. I do have a business called Engineered CAD Solutions on LinkedIn. And what I'm really looking to do next is probably use this to find an area where there could be the possibility of setting up a small homestead with tiny homes and growing some food with like-minded individuals. So I'd be interested in talking to people that are trying to do that, that are building community, that need some more people, and see if there's a way we can make this work for more of us. So thanks again, have a great one.